Okay, deep breathing. So, one thing that's unique about Tai Chi is the characteristics of the movements. So one of the things they talk a lot about, or it's really an important principle, is relax the shoulder and sink the elbow, right? So then we hear that a lot, but they're just words. So you have to interpret it. And you have to kind of, figure out what that actually means. So relaxing the shoulders is really just softening them and not allow them to get tense during your motion. So the first thing is feng song. You have to let your body let go. The second thing is important is stability, your position. Because if you're not stable, so it's man. So wun is to be stable. Wunjin is being in a position. So when you're in a stance, the stability of it really has to do with the strength in your leg and how you begin to root. So it's very important to capture the strength in each one of your feet, because that's where you're going to have the rooted leg and the unrooted leg. That's the principle of substantial and insubstantial. So when you're transitioning, it's always what they call the 50-50 position, which is double weighted. That's what you should avoid. So you're always passing through one leg at a time, passing through that 50-50 point at some point, but then it doesn't stay there. So that's what's important. And then the elbows, sinking the elbow. The importance of relaxing and sinking the elbow is how your arm moves in space. If you don't sink the elbow, then the hands end up kind of one-dimensional or ends up kind of broken. So if you have relaxing, letting go, you have stability, then you have slowness. Movements are done slowly. And slow, it doesn't mean it's just a snail's pace. Slow is happening because you're starting to integrate the body. So if you go like this, for me to get to here, if I wanted to slow it down, it would be like that. But if the body is not moving with it, it's got to be really slow. But if I'm going to go from here to here to here to here, the slowness is really the travel time to get to where you are, because distance and time is what's the factor. So how do you slow it down? You make it longer. How do you make it longer? You can't make this any longer. You make it longer by turning your body, right? So if you elongate the movement, is really increasing the integration of the pieces, the components, your legs, your torso, your arms. So that all has to be brought in. Now in Jade Lady Work Shuttle, in this form, typically part the horse's mane is this, right? And then when we go to Jade Lady Work Shuttle, you go to the horizontal position, then you sink back, and then you go up. So if you're going through those motions, you're not going to go from here to there, part the horse's mane, go from here to there, right? So that gives you an idea that if you just go from here to there, then it looks kind of flat. It doesn't have any volume in the movement. So in Tai Chi, you have to have dimension in the movement. So one of the things is after we turn and we stroke down, here's the rollback. When you go forward starting like this. You fold, now I'm facing here before I go here. When I get to here, I fold my elbow, turn my body, and then come forward. So that's dimension, right? That's slowing it down, filling the movement. So when you go down and you go forward, now my weight is forward, my body has to face there. And then as I turn, I capture my vertical position here. And then it allows me to take that additional step. Right? So if I turn, here's turning to the corner, here's drawing down, here's turning, 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 turning. Okay. So there's how you slow it down. But what I saw Arena did the slowing down, right? But you added one thing that shouldn't be there. What you added was this. You see what I did with my shoulder? That's double weighted in the shoulder. Double weight, because what happened here when you moved, you end up doing this on the round. So it's because you want to lift. So the best way to lift is when you're here, is to relax the shoulder, lift the hand. Because your body's coming up, and then you're going to come here. Then your shoulders will be relaxed. So the motion, when you come to here and this is where you sink. So everything goes down. Then you lift, and then it starts to go up. So, a lot of the movements, when you move, this is going up, but this is actually going down. Otherwise, it's all going up, and then it becomes stiff. So your body has to let go. And then it can come up into the position. So then here, as we turn, now I'm over this foot. Right. So here, in this side, so here, I'm down, I turn, I'm here. I turn, I'm here. Turn, I'm here. Turn, I'm here. You see there's the substantial position. You have to always get that solid leg. Typically we're here, we turn, we stroke down. So I stroke down, here's my solid leg. Here's my solid leg. Here's when I switch feet, then that becomes solid. And then this comes, there's the execution of the hands. So when we're here, here's one, I'm here. Two, I'm here. Three, I'm here. And then execute right. So the two things, loose, release, stability, right? Being stable. When you're here, you have to be stable here and then stable here. And then your movements will be, rooted to the ground. You're stable. You have dimension of movement. You sink the elbow, you relax the shoulder. It's done slowly. And then that's one posture. Then the next concept would be to link the next movement to the next one. So the linkage of the movement is posture to posture. And then in the body, it's joint to joint. And then in the sequence, it has to be continuous, like it doesn't end. See, that's how Tai Chi, the principles in Tai Chi is. So when we're here, when we go forward, we're here. Forward is here. And then here. When I sit back, I'm stable here. Then I shift to here. I shift to here. You see, that's Jade Lady Work Shuttle. The final position in every form is Jade Lady Work Shuttle. The leg transition varies depending on how you're doing. But even in the Tai Chi paradigm, we shift, we're stable here. We sink, stable here. We cross over. Your stability is here. And it stays there. If you're going like this, you're going like this, it's all the same. See? So the hand, this is the same. This is different. But that's footwork, you know already. So when you shift from one leg to the other, then here's your stable leg, you transition. So that footwork there is the same footwork as when you open the form. It's the same footwork as you step up. When we go like this, in strum the lute, say, for instance, when I go like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. See? So that's how the leg work is. You always, when you step, you have to be soft. It's toe-heel relationship. Toe-heel relationship. So, actually, I had someone in the Belmont class today say that, and she, you know, because she's been doing it a while, she said, well, when I cross over, when I go to this side and I move, I feel more stable because my weight is on my heel here. And then she goes into the movement. But actually, I said, that's true. You go on the heel there. Because when you step over and you start to transition, if you went on both heels, you actually would be falling backwards. So when you step over, when you're in the toe here, it's on the heel here, and you sit back. But if you don't relax your knee and your hip, you're going to be unstable at some point. So what you have to do actually when you cross over is when it goes to the heel, you have to bend your knee. So then it goes to the toe. When it goes to the toe, then the heel goes down. And then when you step through, the heel first, and then the toe, and then the heel. So the toe-heel relationship is that. Because without that toe-heel relationship, you'll be double-weighted. But they don't tell you that that's double-weighted. They tell you it's double-weighted when you have too much weight on one side, or that it's 50-50, not that it's even. So when you're stepping, you know, that's the same, you know, even when you walk, it's heel to toe, heel to toe. See, so the heel and the toe is that. So then I'm on my toe, and then I'm on my heel. That relationship is the natural step. In Tai Chi, it's there, but unless you control your shin, then you don't have the toe position. So without the toe position, when you're here, you don't have toe heel. See that? That is how you can help stabilize your stance. So typically after we do this, and we're here, right? We step out and we're here. When we turn, you see, even I'm turning the heel toe. Because I sink, because my shin goes forward, it creates this to here. If I don't bend my knee, then the weight is on the heel. Then you're not going to be stable. So when you bend and you sink, then when I push off, it's the heel to the toe until I'm here. Then it's toe, it goes to the heel. And then you step. So that's breaking it down, but that's when you sort of go through it and practice that, you begin to eventually experience the balance, and then you'll realize that it's toe and heel. But while you're learning it and doing it, you can't just go toe heel, because then while you're doing that, you forget your arms. So when you're doing it, if you're creating that action, then you know that the stability is there because that's what your body is doing. So when you're here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you see that there's very little. There's very little waving of the hand. It happens because I'm turning, and turning. So when I go like this and I turn, that's when I sink my elbow. When I go like this, I sink. That's sinking the elbow. Here. Yeah, because the 42 movement has a lot of complicated movements in it. If you don't understand what you're trying to do with it, then it's always going to be the same. It's only a sequence. The back.
I feel that I may be cheating.
Well, it's it stays erect, but the thing is, because your waist is not twisting enough. So to compensate for the turning, then you start to reach with the body. See, because the vertical line, the spine should still be straight. Right. So if you start to tilt and you start to distort the body, so you can see the spine is really vertical. Yeah. The principle of the vertical spine is the coccyx area is plumb. So if you're going like this has to be down. See, that applies to many of the most of the postures. Even here, when you're here and you go like this, you shouldn't be over here like this. When you turn, even though you're turning to this side, what here you may drop here to create this circle. And then you're going to turn. Now here's a vertical again. And then here's vertical if you're doing it like this. Yeah. So that's really, we're talking about our skeleton and what we're controlling, especially, Tai Chi is to control your skeleton, and controlling the speed of movement is your proprioception. So our body has to learn through that process, and then it becomes very precise. So, and that's the challenge, because if you could do it the first time around, then it doesn't have any meaning. It's the constant reinventing what your body has learned, or rediscovering what it's learned. So it starts here. Right. The lifting of the spine, the hollowing of the spine, the lifting of the back, the sinking and rounding of the shoulders is hollowing the chest. The rounding of the back is this. The opening and closing is this. So that's why for the dimensional movement, we just always out here, and we don't come in here, then you don't have the closing movement. But you have the closing movements here. Right, so if you're here, if you're here, see, so it's a pattern. Okay, ready, we'll bow. Up. So then you have to lift. Just as long as you